In those days, I remember that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Salis Rahimahullah Ta'ala, he mentioned and he repeated this statement time and again, that there is no mother who can ever give birth to any child who can snatch the smiles from the faces of Ahmadis. And that was so true. The people had all the encouragement and support from the institution of Khilafat, and as a result of that, they remained loyal to the institution of Khilafat. They all remained united and went on through this mill of persecution, and sacrifices after sacrifices were given, but nobody could shake their faith. That is a noble example to remember about that year.
As soon as the Ahmadis were declared non-Muslims, the mullahs took advantage of the situation. Opportunists as they had always been, mullahs incited even more hatred in the general public. They wanted to annihilate the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, so much so that no sign of it was left. But it was a community sowed by Allah, and Allah alone was sufficient to protect it.
I mean, one of the fundamental questions is why was the Ahmadiyya Jamaat picked upon as the one Jamaat to be persecuted in such a strong and vehement way? There's many sects of Islam. The point of issue is that each divine group, and it's a part of history, is persecuted. Islam, when it started, was persecuted, and now in the latter days Ahmadiyyat is persecuted. Now we're not the only group that has been persecuted. In India, the Wahhabis were persecuted for quite some time. Sunnis often cause difficulty for the Shia population. But in the current eras, we're the only group who all the other communities of Islam, all the other sects have joined together collectively to persecute. And so this is one of the points that was brought up in the National Assembly as well.
Now this is very strange that the 72 sects, according to Muslim scholars, they have already been fulfilled. They say that so many groups are already there in the Muslim community. Now the 73rd one, which we claim to be the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, when this community is there in the assembly in 1974 in Pakistan, a very strange decision was taken by the political oriented leadership of Pakistan at that time. They decided, without any rhyme and reason, they said that we are on the right and the one Ahmadiyya Muslim community is on the wrong, while the decision of the Holy Prophet ﷺ was that 72 will be in the wrong and they will be hell-bound, and only one will be on the right path, and that would be really representing the true Islam. At that moment, I remember Hazrat Khalifatul Masih III, Rahimahullah Ta'ala, before the final decision was announced by unilaterally by the government, he made it very clear in the assembly that you may take any decision whatever you like, but remember one point: don't take any decision which is going to be absolutely against the decision and the verdict of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. He said 72 will be wrong, one will be right. But unfortunately, they didn't listen to his advice, and the decision they came out was 72 are right and one is wrong. So one can see that all these people, they actually try to unite their hands again in the persecution of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, while the fact is that how can they do so? Well, because whatever they are doing, that is against the final verdict of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. When I look at the so-called unity of the Muslims against Ahmadiyya Muslim community, I always remember that it is actually the fulfillment of that saying that al-kufru millatun wahida, that the disbelief that has joined forces against the truth. So the truth lies with us, and the people are following disbelief. They are showing as if they are united against the truth, but that is of course not going to avail them at all.
अहमदियों के साथ जो atrocities हुई हैं, particularly government मुलाजमीन के साथ, those who were serving in the government department, they will not promote them, they will not give them good posts. It was so obvious in armed forces, in air force, in everything, in telephone department, that even the Ghair Ahmadi sometimes say this is too much, some of them.
Now, as a manifestation of this persecution, in 1974, because of the media effects, because of the whole Ahmadis being declared as non-Muslim, the public itself was riled up to a great degree. Just at the beginning of May, towards the end of May, there was one particular incident which seemed to spark everything that happened for the rest of the year. That students at Nishtar Medical College in Multan, they arrived at the Rabba railway station, and suddenly they started attacking the Ahmadis who were there. Now, in the next 48 hours, 48 Ahmadi shops in 5 homes were ransacked, 3 mosques were attacked, and then 2 days later, 15 Ahmadis in Gujranwala were martyred. And this series of events, whether it be ransacking, whether it be looting, whether it be attacking, whether it be killing, continued throughout the year and even post the change of law in September. And it wasn't just physical attacks, there was also social boycotts that were placed on Ahmadis. Many were refused entry into different shops to get their basic groceries. There was one particular village where the Ahmadis had actually purchased some food from the local shop, and then the local shopkeepers later came to find out that these were Ahmadis, and so they went round with their henchmen, with their people, and took the goods back from them forcibly, removing them from someone's home. These are, small incidents, but no Ahmadi could live in peace at that time. And water supplies were cut, basic necessities such as wheat and crops, other such crops, restrictions were placed upon them. So Ahmadis were unable to live a normal existence. Then you move to education and employment. With regards to employment, many Ahmadis were deprived promotions which they rightly deserved. Many were fired from their jobs simply because they were Ahmadi, and their employees didn't want to be tarnished as the people who promote Ahmadis. And then many Ahmadis served in the military. Some of them had to stay at a certain low rank just because they were Ahmadis. Others chose to leave the army.
I myself is a victim of this. When I came to know that why I was posted out of Islamabad, I saw with my own eyes written on my file by Bhutto himself that this officer should be posted out of Islamabad, should never be allowed to come to Islamabad, and should not be permitted to leave the country.
Pakistan became the most unsafe place for Ahmadis on earth. But, on the other hand, was the teaching of patriotism and loyalty for homeland. Ahmadis decided to cling to their love and loyalty for their homeland. Despite the hatred and rejection from society, Pakistani Ahmadis continued and still continue to live in their homeland. A huge number of Ahmadis are serving Pakistan in every possible way. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community continues to invest resources and manpower in the best interest of Pakistan.
गुज़रे हुए 100 साल के तारीख़ गवाह है, गुज़रे हुए 100 साल के तारीख़ गवाह है, साए की तरह साया फिगन हम पे खुदा है, हम पे खुदा है, हम पे खुदा है।